Welcome back to botany class. Let's move to the fourth chapter, Principles and Processes of Biotechnology. Hope that you have learnt first three lessons well. As I mentioned earlier, first three chapters you prepare well for one word test. Today, let's start from Principles and Processes of Biotechnology. First question, define biotechnology, or what is biotechnology? Biotechnology is the science of applied biological processes. In other words, biotechnology is the development and utilization of biological products by mankind, by the useful of mankind or other life forms. So, what is meant by biotechnology? It is the science of applied biological process. There are number of biological processes you may learn in biology. All these processes, it is a science of biological processes, applied, all these biological processes, applicable level of biological processes. All these processes are applied in life, either in mankind or in the other life forms. So, it is otherwise called as utilization. First, it can be developed. So, development and utilization of biological processes to mankind or other life forms. So, the term biotechnology, the word biotechnology was coined by Karl Ehrke. He was the Hungarian engineer. He coined this term in the year 1919. So, this biotechnology is the process. Now, it has been extended to produce some valuable product. That means the raw materials. There are number of products, raw materials which can be produced as a greater value. So, let us begin with development. Development of biotechnology. Biotechnology has been developed leaps and bounds in the past centuries. So, it can be used in the, generally there are two different types of this technology. One is conventional or traditional method. Conventional biotechnology or modern biotechnology. The development of biotechnology classified into conventional. Conventional is the traditional one. Second one, modern biotechnology. What is meant by conventional? The biotechnology, day-to-day life, this technology, all these processes, biological processes are applied in the human life. Conventional biotechnology is the traditional biotechnology what the ancestors practiced in the kitchen. So, every day in the kitchen we are practicing some biological processes that are coming under conventional. What are they? Main process is fermentation. Fermentation process. Mainly it is conversion of the dairy products. Many microbes, bacteria, fungi, which are used for converting some substances. So, fermentation reaction. So, day-to-day life we are using in the kitchen, preparation of idli, dosa, naan, bread. So, these all items, there are number of microbes involved to produce a process called fermentation. So, by fermentation, these food items can be prepared in our kitchen. That is conventional or traditional method. What is meant by modern method or development? Modern development. Nowadays what happens, it can be extended not only in traditional or conventional method, it also extended to preparation of beverages. it extended fermentation process can be used, or it is extended to produce beverages also. Then modern technology nowadays, this biotechnology has two main features. What are the two main features? The first feature is manipulating the DNA, or the DNA of the organism is transferred. The DNA coded gene can be transferred to another organism and producing a new product, or rDNA, recombinant DNA technology. By using this rDNA technology, this is one of the main features in modern method, rDNA technology. And second feature is ownership of this product, and when they are producing a product by recombinant method, recombinant DNA technology, it can be produced a new variety or new product. So the feature is the ownership of the products to social impact. So these two features are comes under modern development. So development are classified into two: conventional method. Conventional method is nothing but what we are practicing in the kitchen for making food items. Then modern biotechnology has two features: DNA recombinant technology, or DNA technology, recombinant DNA technology, that is manipulation of DNA. DNA is manipulated and the ownership of this product by its social impact. And nowadays this biotechnology has a billionaire business. So many products are produced by this biotechnology. What are the different processes and where it is mainly used? The first process is fermentation. Very important and foremost process is called fermentation, and preparation of biomass production, production of enzymes production, and biofuel, production of biofuel. And this rDNA technology, recombinant DNA technology, or it is called as genetic engineering. So these all the features or the products of this biotechnology development. Due to this development, these all products are obtained. So fermentation process, very important process is fermentation. Due to fermentation, preparation of acids, alcohols, vitamins, antibiotics, these all products are prepared by means of fermentation process under this biotechnology. So one of the process of biotechnology. Then biomass production. Biomass mainly it is single cell protein, SCP, single cell protein. Biomass, preparation of single cell protein. What is meant by single cell protein? Microbes, number of microbes, microscopic organisms, very small, maybe unicellular. So this unicellular organisms which possess complete protein. To derive this complete protein from its body, so it may allow to grow, and the complete body is allowed to dry, and isolation of this protein, complete protein has been taken out from the body of this unicellular organisms or microbes. Algae, fungi, bacteria can be used for this biomass production. Then enzymes. So enzymes which are used as biosensors to detect the chemicals in the industries, food industries or processing industries. To detect the chemicals, these biosensors are used, preparation of enzymes in the form of enzymes. Then biofuel, methane or some other biofuels can be prepared by this method. Then genetic engineering. Nowadays, very important and very useful technology is genetic engineering. What's this? The manipulation of gene. Already you know there are a number of normally at the time of meiosis recombinant DNA, this rDNA is developed within the homologous chromosome. But here in genetic engineering, it's the artificial method of transferring the gene of interest into another organism. Select it from one organism and introduce it into another organism. So there is a alteration of gene to produce the desired character, either organisms or some products. Mainly it is involved in pharmaceuticals and so many industries, processes, food processes. This technology is very much useful. So development, under development you write conventional method, modern method, and today you are going to learn 3 different questions. Number 1, fermentation, the process of fermentation, production of biomass. Number 1, fermentation process, production of biomass, and rDNA technology. rDNA technology, this one, rDNA, DNA recombinant technology. So these 3 questions you are going to concentrate today. First question, fermentation. The word fermentation was derived from a Latin word fervere, which means to boil. So what's the meaning of this fermentation? To boil. The word which is derived from Latin fervere, the verb, Latin verb fervere. Fervere, the meaning is to boil. What's the definition of fermentation? Fermentation is the process by which organic substances, commonly glucose, the organic substances are converted into alcohol or acids. Acids or alcohols, and it evolves and it releases gases without oxygen or any other electron transport chain. So in the absence of oxygen, this process, fermentation process taking place. That's the definition of fermentation. What is fermentation? Conversion of organic substances into acids, gases or alcohols in the absence of oxygen or electron transport chain. So it is an anaerobic condition. In the absence of oxygen, this process takes place. For fermentation process, there is a fermenter or bioreactor is used. Look at this picture. This is a fermenter, or it's called as bioreactor. What's the use of this? This is bioreactor is used for preparing microbes into products. Some microbes, bacteria or some other fungus or some other microscopic organisms are used to grow and make it in the substrate to produce a product. So this fermenter is very important. What is meant by fermenter or bioreactor? So this fermenter is a vessel or container. It's nothing but a vessel, or it's a container which consists of the substrate. What is present inside? There are some liquid substance, the substrate, liquid medium. This liquid medium used to grow the microbes. Some microbes can be grow. When the microbes are allowed to grow, it produces some enzymes. So it can be interact. This microbes and the enzymes interact within this fermenter. So during this fermentation process, there are 2 processes, upstream process and downstream process. Upstream and downstream. What's this upstream and downstream? Before this, you look at this fermenter. It consists of a motor and a pressure gauge. This is the pressure gauge, and here there are some probes, pH probe, temperature probe and oxygen concentration probe. So these all are maintain the optimum temperature. So it maintains the optimum temperature, and this is the sterile nutrient medium. Everything in sterile condition, sterilized form, controlled condition it works. And this is through this the nutrient is poured inside. Nutrient or inoculant. Nutrient is otherwise called inoculant. And outer to this there is a cooling jacket. This is the cooling jacket, and inside the nutrient medium is present there. And here there is a structure called sparger. So this sparger is a perforated plate which can sprinkle the nutrient medium or the liquid substance. So this is fermenter. So what is fermenter? Fermenter is a vessel or container which interacts the microbes and the enzymes with the substrate, which maintains the optimum pH and temperature. That is bioreactor or fermenter. So there are two different processes under this fermentation: upstream process and downstream process. What is upstream process? Upstream process is the process which starts from above fermentation. Before fermentation, there are some processes. What are the processes? Before fermentation, when before fermentation starts, there are something has to get ready. So first, selection of this fermenter. The fermenter can be sterilized, and the nutrient medium what is taken, or the substrate, sterile substrate, nutrient medium, nutrient, everything can be sterilized. So all the sterilization process comes under upstream fermentation. So this fermenter which contains the nutrient medium which can be sterilized, because microbes are very easily affected. So it cannot be affected. If it is easily attacked by any other germs, easily it gets spoiled. So the desired product cannot obtained. So that before starting fermentation process, all the things, necessary things can be sterilized. That process is known as upstream process. Then downstream process. What's meant by downstream process? During this downstream process, after fermentation. So fermentation is the process by which it fermented, the substances can be fermented, and downstream the product can be developed inside the fermenter. Later, due to downstream process, it can be distillation, filtration, distillation, separation of this from the fermenter. After fermentation, it can be isolated and the product can be obtained. Withdrawal of the product is called as downstream fermentation. So there are two different types of fermentation process: upstream, downstream. Then what are the procedure? What's the procedure? First, depend upon the product, the fermenter can be selected. So selection of fermenter or bioreactor can be choose depend upon the substance or microbes. What are the microbes? Depend upon the microbes, the fermenter should be selected. After selecting this fermenter, then sterilization, the liquid medium, the nutrient medium, what are the things necessary, the microbes, everything can be sterilized. So after sterilization of this liquid medium, the pH and the temperature can be maintained optimum. It should be optimum. It should not high or low. Optimum temperature, optimum pH can be maintained. That's why here pH probe, temperature probe and this oxygen concentration probe, everything which helps to maintain this optimum level within the fermenter, because these microbes are very easily get spoiled. So it cannot be attacked by any other germs. So it can be sterilized. Third process is incubation. So, this temperature, maintaining of this pH temperature, oxygen concentration, this all comes under this incubation. So, particular specific time depend upon the substance taken in, depend on the microbes, or in the liquid substance or substrate, it can be added, the substrate can be added or the microbes can be added, and what are the nutrients needed to culture and development of the product, the things can be added and it is incubated. Finally, the process taking place, interaction with these enzymes. When they are taking the microbes inside, the microbes produces, when it is in processing, it produces some enzymes. So, these enzymes and microbes interact with this. Finally, withdrawal of the product. The desired product can be obtained. It can be distillated and filtered. What are the method? It can be isolated. So, product can be obtained. So, what is the main function of this fermentation process? The raw materials, either in microorganism or cell or tissue or animal cell or plant cell or any other cell or any other substances from organisms, it can be from raw material, it produces a greater value product is obtained due to this fermentation process. Now, one of the important product obtained by this method is single cell protein. You all know this single cell protein. What's this? Single cell protein. Now, and before this fermentation process, there are, what is the practical applications? What are the applications of this fermentation? So, one such product is production of single cell protein, microbial mass, microbial biomass production, then microbial metabolites. There are two different types of metabolites, primary metabolite and secondary metabolites. The primary metabolites, secondary metabolites, or the single cell protein, that is biomass production, or enzymes, production of enzymes, or bioconversion or transformation. So, some ethanol transferred to acetic acid, that is vinegar formation. So, transformation. So, these are the applications of this fermentation process. So, what is the single cell protein? As I mentioned earlier, the single cell, the microscopic organisms in the form of bacteria, either bacteria or fungi or in the form of algae. Bacteria, fungi, algae are used for culture. So, these microscopic organisms, bacteria, fungi and this alga, it very cheap cost, it can be cultured. Why it is cultured? To obtain the protein, to solve the protein deficiency. These all microbes contains complete protein. In its body, it contains complete protein. The complete protein can be isolated. How? By culture it and dried the entire cell. So, it is called single cell protein. So, obtain protein from its body. Then, metabolites. Metabolites are the compounds. In plants or animals, there are number of compounds produced. So, these compounds are mainly in plants. Metabolites, microbial metabolites, the compounds are in the form of substances which can be used in number of ways. So, it is classified, depend upon its function, it is classified into two categories, primary metabolites and secondary metabolites. Primary metabolites are used for maintenance of this plant organisms, maintenance, for example citric acid, acetic acid. So, this acids maintenance for its life, these metabolites are used, called as primary metabolites. But secondary metabolites, it does not have any vital role, vital processes, but mainly it is used for preparing antibiotics. So many chemical compounds are obtained, sterols and so many compounds. These compounds are used for preparing antibiotics. So in pharmaceuticals, these secondary metabolites are used. For example, penicillin, here microscopic organisms, here penicillin. Penicillin is obtained from Penicillium notatum, or streptomycin obtained from Streptomyces griseus, and amphotericin obtained from Streptomyces nodosus. So likewise, some compounds used for producing antibiotics, that is tetracycline. Tetracycline is obtained from Aureophasians. So these all compounds are called as examples of secondary metabolites. Then bioconversion. Then before that, enzymes. So enzymes are biosensors to detect the chemical compound from the processing industries. They are using these enzymes. And this bioconversion, what's meant by bioconversion? Some substance, ethanol, which can be converted as acetic acid, as vinegar, or isopropanol to acetone. Isopropanol converted to acetone, or sorbitol converted to sorbose. So these all some examples of bioconversion or transformation. Then let's move to the next question, single cell protein. Another important question is single cell protein. Very often asked in this question, single cell protein. Single cell protein called as SCP, single cell protein. What's this? The single cell of microbe. As I said, bacteria, fungi or algae. There are number of unicellular bacteria, unicellular fungus or multicellular organisms can be used for prepare. Here single cell protein, the single cell, the unicellular organisms. So which are used for the production of proteins, vitamins and so on. So mainly it is cultured for obtaining its protein content. The complete protein can be isolated from its body. For example, bacteria. There are some bacteria like Methylophilus bacteria, and fungus Agaricus campestris. Here Agaricus, this bacteria Agaricus campestris. Agaricus campestris. Or this algae, that is Spirulina, Chlorella, Chlamydomonas. These all microscopic organisms are used in the form of bacteria or fungi or algae. It's used to culture because these all grow in very cheap cost materials. Molasses, it can grow in the molasses or this potato waste materials. After processing, when the waste materials are thrown out, it can be grown there. So this all cheap cost, it can be developed. So culture it, this bacteria, fungi and algae, or we can use this fermenter bioreactor, make it to dry. The entire content of the cell is isolated, purified, and it can be dried, allow it to dried and isolate or get its complete protein. To solve protein deficiency, this single cell protein is obtained. But this protein, complete protein is obtained, but when they are using this, there are highly nucleic acid content. It contains the entire nucleic acid content is there, so it causes indigestion. So this single cell protein can be used by astronauts and the scientists or researchers, those who are traveling Arctic, Antarctic areas for research. They are used this single cell protein. So this single cell protein, this from these organisms, 2 mark question or 3 mark question, they will ask what are the organisms used for making single cell protein. What is the bacteria? What's the fungus? You name this. Learn all these examples. Algae. What are the algae used for single cell protein? Spirulina, chlorella, chlamydomonas, and fungus Agaricus campestris. Bacteria Methylophilus, and Cellulomonas, alkali genes. So this all bacteria also used. So this all organisms are used to obtain large quantity of protein. For example, this Methylophilus, this when you are writing this binomials, you write underline both the genus name and the species name. In the book it has been given in italics. So this Methylophilus, 250 gram if you are culture and make it dry, you get 25 tons of proteins. So such a huge quantity, large quantities, large scale protein production obtained by this single cell protein. So what's the uses of this? It's the best supplement of protein deficiency. For protein deficiency, it's the best supplement. So it is used for food, used as a protein is one kind of food. So this is used as food for human and fodder for cattle, birds and fishes. And cosmetics for healthy hair and growing this single cell proteins are used. Cosmetics, it used as a emulsifier. So these all uses of this single cell protein. Now one more question, modern, this development of modern biotechnology. So it comes under the topic genetic engineering. So this genetic engineering, or it's called as DNA recombinant technology or DNA technology. What's this rDNA technology? Recombinant DNA technology. Already in the previous chapter you learned rDNA, recombinant DNA. Normally the recombinant DNA takes place at the time of this meiosis takes place. But here is the technique used artificially. What's this? The modern technology, genetic engineering, manipulation of DNA or alteration of DNA. DNA which codes the gene can be isolated from one organism and introduce it into another organism and produces a new product is called, that is the technology used in this DNA recombinant technology or this genetic engineering technology. What's the product? What are the products obtained by this? Vitamins, carbohydrates, proteins, vaccines, antibiotics. So many new products can be developed. You may heard about the insulin, preparation of insulin, or here it is also used in sewage dispersal, recycling of water. All these processes carried out by this genetic engineering technology. So genetic engineering technology nowadays it's used in so many fields, pharmaceuticals, preparation of medicines and vitamins, antibiotics. Every field this technology is mainly used. So very important 5 mark question is DNA recombinant technology or recombinant DNA technology. Only 5 points in your book, there are 5 points. The first point is isolation of DNA. What is isolated? Look at this diagram. Here for this manufacturing of gene or this manipulating gene manipulation or this DNA recombinant technology, there are 2 different cells can be selected. Here it is selected a bacterium. Commonly we are using bacterium because of the presence of this plasmid. What's plasmid? There is a extra circular DNA present in the bacteria called plasmid. So this plasmid is very much useful. plasmid. Because we are isolating a gene from desired organism, the gene of interest taken from any other organism, either plant or animal or human, anywhere, any cell, from a particular gene is isolated and it can be introduced it into a vector. So, vector is called as cloning vehicle. So, it can be transferred. So, look at this. Here this is the gene of interest. This is a cell. From this cell, this gene of interest is isolated. So, it is not an easy job to alter the gene, but skillful person need for isolate it, and there are enzymes used for cutting this, that is molecular scissor restriction endonucleases, and paste this ligase enzyme. So many enzymes are involved for making this process. So, this gene of interest can be isolated, and this is the bacterium. In the bacterium there is a specialization. What's that? Presence of plasmid. This plasmid is used as a vector, that is cloning vehicle. So, this gene of interest can be introduced. First, isolation of gene of interest from one organism and isolation of this plasmid from bacteria. So, plasmid is taken out, this gene of interest also taken out. Now, the first process is isolation. What is isolated? Isolation of gene of interest, and the gene of interest can be insert. The selected or isolated gene of interest, that is our desired character. What's our desired character? It may be any character, can be isolated and it is inserted in the plasmid or any other cloning vehicle. So, here it is the vector is chosen as a plasmid. So, this plasmid cut open by restriction endonucleases and this desired gene is inserted. So, insertion of gene of interest into the plasmid. So, it can be insert it into the plasmid, and this can be allowed to paste. So, now this plasmid is called as rDNA, which contains gene of interest into the plasmid. So, now this DNA is called as recombinant bacterium. This plasmid carries a desirable gene. So, it is a rDNA. New gene is inserted into the plasmid, and now this gene of interest is introduced again into the bacterial cell. So, again this recombinant DNA, this rDNA is introduced into the bacterial cell. So, when the DNA replicates, it replicates multiple copies of the desired gene, that is gene of interest, along with the plasmid. So, now cells are cloned with gene. The cells can be cloned. This is the copies of gene. When it multiplies, it produces the recombinant gene. So, rDNA, under this technique, this can be cultured. So, number of copies can be cultured, and in this method they are producing, it can be introduced or it is applicable in there are various applications wherever it is useful for producing pest resistant varieties. Pest resistant varieties, or it is for sewage dispersal, it can be used, or production of vaccines, antibiotics, insulin preparation. For this they are using this technique. So, vector is very important. Sometimes these vectors are not used for this preparation of this, they are using another technique, PCR technique, that is polymerase chain reaction. Polymerase chain reaction, that means multiplication of this DNA or DNA by gene gun method. So, insert it or shot it into, direct it to the cell. So, in this method they are using this or DNA, and it is again introduced it into the bacterial cell, either bacterial cell or protoplasmic fusion. Here mainly here two things in genetic engineering, protoplasmic fusion or this or DNA technology is mainly used. Hope that you understand these three questions very clear. So today's portion you learned these three questions: development of biotechnology, their fermentation, single cell protein, and DNA recombinant technology. Thank you.